Norwegian Cruise Lines has canceled nearly 40 sailings on 3 ships with very little to no explanation. Carnival will be doing a special salute for America's 250th birthday across 10 of their ships. Holland America is launching some fleet-wide cooking shows based on the regional cuisine. And the very newest and latest ship from Disney Cruise Lines, the Disney Treasure, well, it debuted with quite the fanfare in New York. All of this and more coming up next. Hello, everyone. It's Cynthia, your host. Welcome back to today's show. Today, we have 4 cruise news stories, and let's just jump right into them. Our first story comes from Holland America. And before I get into it, I have a question for you. Are you a foodie? When you go on your cruise, is eating the food and experiencing the cuisine something that you really look forward to? Then you're probably going to like this story. Holland America is bringing back what they consider a fan favorite. It's all part of their global fresh fish program. I rehearsed saying that so that I didn't mess up. This is when Holland America uses fish locally sourced from the region that they are currently in. Well, they're bringing back new cooking shows, and these cooking shows will highlight regional culinary specialties and locally sourced seafood right from the area that they are currently porting in. These shows will be hosted by the cruise line's executive chef and the cruise ship's travel director. These cooking shows will be available fleet-wide at least twice a week on 7-day itineraries, and they'll happen even more often on longer itineraries. During these demonstrations, the chef will, of course, show the cooking techniques. He will talk about some of the local history, and then guests will be able to sample that very dish in the dining room that evening and even take home a recipe card. So if you really enjoy it, you'll be able to know how to cook it yourself. Here are some of the offerings that you would be able to expect on the cruise. Of course, in Alaska, you would expect to see some salmon dishes. In Australia and New Zealand, they're looking at panko crusted Australian flathead. In Asia, red snapper. In the Caribbean, Bahamian grouper. In Hawaii, macadamia crusted grouper. In the South Pacific, Japanese pork katsu with curry sauce. In South America, seared grouper with Chilean salsa. And in Mexico, blackened tuna Oaxaca style. Holland America is offering this for guests to be enriched and also have something fun and attainable that they can experience. I'm curious to know, out of all of the foods that you have seen here and some of the ones that I have mentioned, which would you pick as your favorite? I'd love to know. Drop it down in the comments below. Our next story is all about birthday celebrations. How do you celebrate your birthday? Is there like a cake and a party? Do you go out with friends? Do you just stay home and don't even tell anyone? Well, Carnival is celebrating America's birthday. That's right, in 2026, America will celebrate 250 years. Happy birthday, America. And in doing so, they will have commemorative celebrations on 10 of their ships. Itineraries will range from 3 to 8 days, and they will leave out of 6 different home ports. Those home ports are Miami, Jacksonville, New York City, Port Canaveral, Long Beach, and San Francisco. On July 4th, the actual 250th birthday, 7 ships sailing from the East Coast home ports will meet up near Celebration Key for a celebration at sea. And then 3 other ships will meet with them from the West Coast near Ensenada. On July 4th of 2026, the actual 250th birthday of America, you can expect to find patriotic themed birthday party celebrations, as well as specialty foods and drinks and other entertainment. In a statement from Carnival, they said, "We are America's cruise line and we're commemorating this milestone in a big way. Uniting our ships will multiply the fun and make America's 250th birthday even more memorable for guests." East Coast sailings will be aboard the Carnival Conquest or the Carnival Glory, and they will depart on July 3rd of 2026. They're going to offer 3-day escapes to Celebration Key at Grand Bahama from both Miami and Port Canaveral, respectively. The Carnival Sunshine will depart on July 2nd for a 4-day Bahamas cruise from Miami. And the Carnival Elation will sail to the Bahamas from Jacksonville. If guests are looking for longer sailings, well, there are some 7 and some 8-day sailings available as well. The Carnival Celebration will depart from Miami on June 28th, visiting Celebration Key, Nassau, Amber Cove, and Grand Turk. There's also an 8-day Eastern Caribbean sailing aboard the Carnival Vista, leaving out of Port Canaveral. This will depart on June 27th, and it will sail to San Juan and St. Thomas. For the guests up in the Northeast, we have the Carnival Venezia, departing from New York on July 1 for an 8-day cruise that will visit Celebration Key, Nassau, and Half Moon Cay. And of course, for the West Coast guests, they have 3 options available. On July 3rd, the Carnival Firenze will sail a 3-day Baja Mexico cruise from Long Beach over the July 4th weekend. And then the Carnival Luminosa will sail a 4-day, departing on July 2nd from San Francisco. And both of those cruises will stop in Ensenada. And finally, on June 30th, the Carnival Radiance will sail a 5-day sailing. This will be a Mexican Riviera cruise from Long Beach, visiting Cabo San Lucas and Ensenada. Those 3 ships will also unite at sea on July 4th, the 250th birthday. I think that this is super exciting. I had no idea that the 4th of July in 2026 was our 250th birthday. Now that I know, I think I'm going to be looking for some sailings for myself. I think that's kind of special. I would love to hear your thoughts, and if any of you are planning on sailing to commemorate our 250th birthday, please drop it down in the comments below. Disney Cruise fans, this next story is just for you. And I have not traveled on a Disney cruise yet, maybe next year on the Disney Treasure. On November 21st, the Disney Treasure, well, it arrived in New York and there was a christening celebration with lots of fanfare. Disney Cruise Line welcomed its new ship, the Disney Treasure, at a waterfront christening celebration on the Hudson River in New York City. This celebration included this light show that featured Coco, the Haunted Mansion, Moana, and Aladdin. Now, this spectacular show, it all came together with 1,000 different drones, synchronized to a variety of different Disney songs. And there was also Jordan Sparks. She performed live the original anthem for the Disney Treasure, Live the Adventure. Now, Disney Cruise Line is making a statement in a big way. They're going from 5 cruise ships, more than doubling their fleet to 13 different cruise ships by 2031. This ship will have some brand new features never seen before, like the Haunted Mansion bar and a Coco show performed inside the dining area. Stories from Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and also Disney park attractions will be aboard this new ship. The maiden voyage of the Disney Treasure will begin on December 21st of 2024, and then the inaugural season kicks off with 7-night itineraries from Port Canaveral to the Eastern and the Western Caribbean. I'd like to hear from any of you Disney fans and anyone who's cruised on Disney Cruise Line. I am very interested to know if the price point for a Disney cruise, and usually much higher than, let's say, a Carnival or Royal or Norwegian, not always, but a lot of times the pricing that I've seen is much higher. Is it worth the price? Is the immersion into the Disney bubble, is it worth the price? How was your Disney cruise? If you've done one, please drop some comments down below. I have one more cruise news story, but before I get there, I am inviting you to subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you as part of the right Recipe for Travel family. And all you need to do, at no cost to you, is tap down on that subscription button below. And also, please give us a like and tap down on that notification bell so you're notified when we drop new videos. This helps out the channel tremendously. And if you would like to offer more support, please check out the links down in the description below. There is information on how to get me to book your travel, information on how to be a part of our Patreon, and information on becoming a member. I thank you so much for joining us. I couldn't do it without you. Now let's get to that final story. Our last cruise news story today is from Norwegian Cruise Lines, and it's one that makes cruisers cringe. Getting that notice that your cruise has been canceled. Has this ever happened to you? It's definitely happened to me, and it's about to happen to a lot of people taking Norwegian cruises. They are canceling almost 40 cruises. 38 cruises on Norwegian's 3 ships are being canceled, and there's very little or no reason why. These sailings are aboard the Norwegian Jewel, the Norwegian Dawn, and the Norwegian Star. Cruises were set to take place between November 2025 and April of 2026. I guess the best part about this is it wasn't a very soon upcoming cruise that maybe you had already booked your flights and you are already on the way. That's the bright side of this. But let's continue on. Aboard the Norwegian Jewel, all itineraries departing between November 23rd of 2025 and April 5th of 2026 have been canceled. These were 5 to 14 night cruises that would have gone to the Caribbean out of Tampa, Florida. The Norwegian Star, it's featuring the full lineup of cruises that were supposed to take place in South America and Antarctica between November 20th of 2025 and April 14th of 2026. And that's a total of 11 cruises. All sailings aboard the Norwegian Dawn beginning November 2nd of 2025 through April 12th of 2026 have been canceled. These were sailings to go around Africa and then Asia, also visiting ports in the Indian Ocean, in Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, just to name a few. And as of right now, replacement sailings have not been offered. Unfortunately, some guests might not even know that their cruises have been canceled, but Norwegian does state that guests will soon be receiving the email confirmation of these canceled cruises. Now, of course, all of the passengers affected will get a full refund, including anything that they've purchased extras, such as gratuities or maybe drink packages. They will receive a full refund. And Norwegian is offering some type of future cruise credit discount amount. It wasn't stated here exactly how much, but they will be offering some type of future cruise credit as well. Now, there were additional sailings that were canceled. These were the Norwegian Sun and the Norwegian Getaway. They did give an answer, at least, for why these sailings were canceled. It was cited as fleet redeployment. There was a 14-night cruise to the South Pacific on board the Sun, departing on August 7th of 2025, and then the August 17th and the August 21st of 2026 cruises aboard the Norwegian Getaway were canceled, but this was due to a ship charter. At this point, as I stated, there has been no further information on the reasons why. This is all they have given us. It is really no fun to get that notice that your cruise has been canceled. So to anyone affected by this, I do sympathize with you. Will you, if you have been affected by any of these, will you rebook on a Norwegian cruise? I'm interested to know what people do when their cruises are canceled. Do you rebook aboard that same ship, aboard the same cruise line? Or do you look for some other itinerary or some other ship on a different cruise line if you're ever canceled? Please, I'd love to get some discussion on that. Drop that down in the comments below. Well, that is the cruise news for today. I thank you so much for joining us. I want to let you know that Black Friday is coming up, and the cruise industry is throwing all kinds of specials and freebies and discounts. So this coming Tuesday, I will be having a live giving you some good and deep dives into any of those Black Friday deals. And if you'd like to get any of those booked, my information will be down in the description below. Thank you for joining us, and we will catch you at the next adventure.